Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Today we're going to talk about a strategy you can use to get around some of those command point limits. Okay, now this strategy's been around in the game basically as long as I can remember. But we were doing the Darkling event in my guild the other day, and we wanted to get this down as quickly as possible. And so I was telling people, hey, make sure you use this method to get some extra Darklings down. And like a bunch of my alliance members didn't know about this and didn't know how to do this. So I figured, hey, maybe it's not as well known as I thought. Let's make a video. Okay, so you see my legions here. I've just been doing a CP burn. Basically I'm trying to stock up as much prestige as possible. And I have a very small amount of CP left. So I'm going to use the rest of it. Okay, so now I eliminated that Darkling, and you can see that I have negative CP left, and no CP items, so I'm done, right? And not so fast. So what you do is you'll take your units and you're trying to get them close to the Darkling you want. And then you take a unit with an item that will trigger Darklings that doesn't require any rage to do. You can see I'm using the Taunt Mask here, however, there are a bunch of items that can do this. So you get right up next to the Darkling, and then you trigger the aggro of the Darkling using your artifact. Okay, it's aggroed. And then you try to walk through it with all of your legions. And you can see all of my legions are fighting that Darkling now. And eventually when they kill it, I'm going to get all the benefits from that, and it'll cost me more CP, right? So I beat this, and now you can see I'm at like negative 240 CP. All right, and you can rinse and repeat, and part of the reason I like the Taunt Mask is it's got a fairly small cooldown, so I can do this fairly often. Now you can do this a lot, but eventually you're going to reach negative 1000 CP, and negative 1000 CP is kind of the key line in the sand. Once you're at negative 1000 CP, basically you can't, you can't get the benefit from killing any Darklings. So I'll show you an example here. You can see I'm, at negative 1035. I'll come up, I'll use the same method, walk through it. I'm still going to fight it. But as I kill it, you see I get the cannot claim reward. I'm below negative 1000 CP. And I didn't lose any CP. I didn't go any further in the negative there. So, I took whatever little damage I did, but I didn't get any benefit from that. So you can do this up to negative 1000 CP, but beyond that, it doesn't do you any good. All right, so I'll go back to my city now. I was using the Taunt Mask for that, but you don't have to use the Taunt Mask. There are a number of artifacts that work. Basically, anything that will aggro a Darkling that doesn't use Rage is good for this. I used the Bomb Flinger a lot. That'll do. A lot of these epic artifacts will trigger it, like the Butcher's Blade, things like that. So I'll use this method a couple times, during the season. Definitely during the Darkling event, assuming I'm in an alliance that wants to Zerg these down, and I usually am. I'll use it then. I'll also use it like right before we go into a big PvP zone, so I don't have to worry about emptying my CP bar, when I'm fighting, in the Dragon Zone or in a fully contested zone, something like that. Now the thing about this method is you don't rob the game from it. Essentially, you borrow from the future. So you can see I have like negative, 1000, 26 CP. I'm going to have to just recover that back. I don't have any CP items. And so when I log off tonight, I'll probably still be at negative 700, negative 800. It'll recover at just the sort of the normal rate it always recovers. So it's going to take some time. So I do think this is like a useful method at key points during the season. Early on in the game, we would use this during the Strongest Lord Darkling event to try and win that. Simpler times. I don't really care about that anymore. But for key PvP events, and especially the Darkling event early in the season, and right before the Dragon Zone, I will do this, both to get a lot of extra prestige to help speed those policies along, as well as to avoid the issue of having a full CP bar, when I'm fighting Miami. Anyway, pretty quick and easy video today, and that's all I got for you. Till next time, you stay classy, Belleron.